Welcome to the Emerging Lawyer series at the Coffee Conversation Show, powered by the Emerging India Forum TIF and a tech partner, Prime Infotech Solution. Theme is Legal Challenges in Health Tech, Navigating Risk. We have with us Jaswinder Singh Shekhawat, Head Legal and Compliance at MediBuddy. From his evolution of corporate law, having worked with leading insurance giants like Manipal Cigna, Bajaj Alliance, Royal Sundaram, Jaswinder brings unmatched insights into risk mitigation, regulatory challenges, and the future of legal tech. He has now come to MediBuddy, which is into health tech. So now his experience from insurance to now healthcare and pharma. Let's discover his personal journey, career lessons, fun stories from his time in the corporate legal sphere. Get ready for an engaging and insightful conversation. So, Jaswinder, welcome to today's coffee conversation.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Amir, for inviting me. Thank you so much. It's a great thing to have with you.
Wow. So let me explain you the flow. There is a lot of excitements and fun also. So we don't focus only on conversation, but we have a fun round, the rapid fire round. So
Okay. Oh,
which that we don't tell to our coffee speaker, we keep it. We don't share the question because this is a surprise rapid fire round. For which
okay.
you have to
That's
be
very
witty,
interesting
fun,
then.
and quick, and you get your gift also, like
Okay.
Karan does in his show.
Right. Oh, that's nice.
AI 101. So now AI is everywhere. So we'll have some questions also, and this book will also help you for your legal team. So, friends, uh, I'm Lion Amir Virani, host at Coffee Conversation, legal tech evangelist at Prime Infotech Solution, author of 15 books. We help law firms, corporate legal, startup SMEs with world class technology, software licensing, and tech trading solutions. So, my first question, Jaswinder, how was the journey shaped and any key defining moments?
So yeah, basically, if I tell about the journey per se in the health space, so yeah, I was working with an health insurance company in the past, and it has been uh, driven into the insurance sector completely. So, but when we talk about the pandemic, it was the journey was with Manipal Cigna, and where everyone actually realized how important healthcare is for each one of us. And there, from there, the journey has actually started towards the healthcare side. And when this opportunity came for working with an healthcare company, so uh, considering all the challenges or the opportunities lying in this space, as we talk, the opportunities are towards the technological advancement, towards the business development, and towards the regulatory side. So if I see overall, there are a lot many things to learn from here and work in that space to drive your personal growth as well as the organizational growth into that side.
Wow. So, my next question will be what made you transition from insurance into healthcare sector?
So transition from insurance healthcare sector. So I think I've covered a bit of this question in my previous response also, as I was mentioning that the challenges and the opportunities which are lying there in the healthcare sector are too much, because the healthcare sector is one where it has been driven in the traditional way. But with the digital healthcare companies coming into picture, they are like taking away all those challenges like the geographical limitations. By sitting in this room, I can have a conversation with a doctor who is like in Tamil Nadu or in Delhi, and can take a view and get the medications from the prescription from them and get my medicines delivered within my house by sitting here. So I think the limitations which were there in the traditional sector have been overtaken by these digital healthcare companies. So that was about the business side of it. Technological advancement comes handy with that, but there comes the technological challenges as well. Like there's a DPDP Act which is coming into place, because every
Mm.
customer wants to have their information, sensitive personal information, secure. And that brings to the regulatory side of it, ki how the regulators will be driving all these things when the digital healthcare companies come into place. It's not only about the data protection, but also about how the regulators will be driving all these factors. Like the pharmacies are regulated now, there comes e-pharmacies. Now whether there will be e-hospitals also in future, we don't know, but the possibility lies. So that's why taking all these aspects into picture, there are opportunities, and that gives a motivation to put your steps into this healthcare space.
Interesting. So, Jaswinder, having worked with major insurance firms like Manipal, Cigna, Royal Sundaram, Bajaj Alliance, what's the biggest legal challenges in the insurance industry they face?
So insurance industry actually faces lot many challenges, and I think COVID. I take this as a very big example, and I might be taking this example in for future as well, because that has taught a lot, not only to the individuals but also to the corporates. So, if I talk about the challenges in the insurance sector overall, first challenge is unfortunately is that the insurance in India still remains a push product. It is not a pull product. Nobody is willing to take insurance. Somebody will have to come to me and push it to me, then only I'll take it. That's the biggest challenge of the insurance industry. Second important challenge is about the fraud, waste, and abuse. We call it as FWA. That's another important challenge, because pricing is in such a manner that for 1,000 rupees you get a cover of 10 lakh rupees, right? And if there is a misutilization of that amount, then the whole idea of insurance goes for a toss. So that needs to be curtailed, and we have, by being in the insurance industry for almost around 12 years, I've seen that happening a lot. Then this problem creates another problem, which is an underwriting problem. How to underwrite the risks, because a person sitting in front in the digital era might not give you a clear picture about his health. Then if a claim arises, how do you deal with that? So overall there are lot many challenges, but I think these challenges, even IRDA is trying to get hold of these challenges and trying to solve that uh, by taking all the possible measures. But the time will tell, only time will tell how much time these problems get solved.
Wow. So, Jaswinder, the intersection of law, technology, and healthcare is evolving rapidly. What are some emerging legal risks that companies in this space should watch out for?
So yeah, I think we have heard a lot about this thing in the news recently, that lot many insurance companies are being uh, caught by cyber attacks. So with everything going digital and all, so the companies face this as a biggest risk and a challenge, because the whole idea of healthcare is built on trust. If we go to a doctor, we go to a doctor on a trust basis that yes, my disease or whatever illness I have will be cured by this doctor. So similarly, that idea of healthcare is built on trust, and if that trust gets breached, it becomes a very big challenge for the companies in future. So the intersection of healthcare, technology, and law is very it's like a sangam, like the three rivers coming and meeting together, right? So healthcare is to be taken care by technology, because if if we talk about revolution in healthcare, that will be driven through technology. And if technology comes, that needs to be regulated, and there needs to be proper measures to implement it and curb the risks and challenges which any company would face in future.
Wow. So, Jaswinder, with your 12 years in corporate legal, how has your approach to contract negotiation and risk mitigation has changed over the years?
So yeah, contract negotiation. It's in college we used to learn it as an art, but when we stepped out of the college, we learned it. It's something other than an art. It's not a literature, but it's about understanding businesses. It's about understanding the depth of the technicality, what the services are being availed, and what scope the teams are agreeing upon. So yes, art of it to frame the language is a portion of it, but yes. So if I talk about the evolution of contract negotiations, I think the approach has changed over a period by, because companies and the most especially the legal teams, how they have dealt with it is to bring that contract negotiation, bring all the teams interconnected in a contract negotiation. Earlier, what used to happen, what I have seen also, that contract negotiation, if it is a contract, it has to be led only by the legal team. But over a period, when we see all the teams are coming together inside a room and discussing on specific clauses, that if it's a taxation clause, the tax team will give its inputs. If it is an IT related point, IT will give its input. If it is a HR related point, HR will give its inputs. So I think the holistic and the comprehensive approach which has been taken by the teams together has changed and made the job easier for the organization as a whole to mitigate the risks, because every person doesn't have a deeper knowledge about other functions. So if the expert is coming on table and and giving his inputs, so I think that changes the picture and safeguards the risks for the company.
Wow. So, Jaswinder, you have handled consumer litigation, corporate governance, and compliance. What's the most challenging case you have worked on, and how did you navigate it?
Complex cases are actually, if I say that there are a lot many complex cases, and every case has its own complexity. But yeah, the challenges are also a lot many. If we talk about litigations, consumer litigations especially, consumer litigations, the challenges are about the approach from the complainant advocates, or because the customers most of the times are not privy to what the advocates are dealing with.
Mhm.
Customer has only a knowledge that I have given a case to a particular advocate who will deal with this case and give me the final output. Now the start the what happens in between that, when he has appointed an advocate till the time of disposal, he is not privy to that conversation. And lot many times I have seen, especially in death cases, where the widows are there who are in need of an urge of money. They just want that, what if it is a life insurance money or an accidental claim amount, that I should receive the amount as soon as possible. But lot many times those hurdles are created by the advocates. They don't want to go for a settlement because they also have a vested interest somewhere in that key, we'll get an interest amount, we will get some portion of it. And that's how the whole idea of justice delivery gets hampered. And
Yeah.
whatever is required to do that, I think should be done. So I think the government has, there are various initiatives as well. There are lok adalats being organized where the complainant has to present
Mhm.
herself or himself before the court. There are ombudsmen also, RBI and insurance ombudsman, where the customers have to represent themselves and there is no involvement of an advocate. So I think with these measures, it is going to a certain extent, it is solving the problem to a certain extent, but not completely, because in litigation that is still a biggest challenge.
Wow. So, Jaswinder, how do you see AI and automation shaping the future of compliance and legal operations in health tech and insurance sector?
So AI, yes, definitely, matlab, it is shaping the future of the companies and the compliance or the governance functions. But yeah, if I have to talk of, so firstly the AI thing will, before solving the problem, it in itself it creates another, not problem, but another layer of compliance for the governance functions. So first you need to mitigate that, and then how it is helping companies to solve the problem. So yes, I think to a certain extent the tools which are there for compliance management, any regulations which are coming, you get a hold of those regulations. And with AI monitoring it, because I cannot completely rely on AI today. The situation might change in future after 5 to 8 years, because AI is also evolving right now. So in future it might be helpful to that extent, but today for compliance purpose at least, we cannot rely that much on AI completely. There needs an human intervention is required, but I agree that yes, it is making a job easier for the companies and the costing of the compliance function as well.
Wow, beautiful. So, Jaswinder, who has influenced you from the corporate legal world, from insurance sector and health tech sector?
So influence influence malab, it's only because the frankly speaking, it was the opportunity which was there to move into a healthcare sector. And if I talk about my older days in insurance sector, how I moved into insurance sector, then it was when you get passed out from the college, it is just an urge for to get into a company. But since I had interned in insurance companies during my college days, so I had a fair idea about how the insurance companies function. So, and it was a campus recruitment. So, in campus, you sit for all the companies which come. You don't have an idea in which company you will be sitting and which company will take you. But yeah, when I stepped into the insurance company, a lot of my peers have left the insurance industry after 1 or 2 years. But yes, there are reasons why I wanted to continue with that sector at that point of time, because when I worked on the ground in insurance sector, when I was working in locations at the ground, it gives you a better opportunity and an exposure to work at the ground level and directly deal how the litigation is happening. By sitting in a corporate office in the initial days of your career, you might not be able to understand the ground realities. So that's why I wanted to continue my journey with an insurance company, because I was getting that exposure of having that experience how the litigation functions at the ground level. So tomorrow, if I move up the ladder, I know how what are the ground realities, how the things happen, what are the challenges, and how to solve them. So that was the idea. And then moving to healthcare sector, yes, it was because of the various factors. Being working in an health insurance company, you know how the healthcare sector works, because it was like on sitting on the other side of the table, because an insurance company takes the services from a healthcare provider. So now the sides of the table have completely changed. So now you're providing service to an health insurance company. And so yeah, because you know the nuances of it, how the industry functions, how the things work, and it gives an urge to understand the other side of it. Like I wanted to understand how that side of the industry works and how are the functions there. And the exposure also is too high towards the healthcare sector, because there are definitely a lot of challenges, and there are a lot of things to learn on a personal level. But utilizing the experience which you have already gained, and definitely gives you an edge to work in the industry.
Wow. Thank you for leading me to my next question. At
Yeah.
MediBuddy, a leading digital healthcare platform, how do you ensure compliance while navigating complex regulatory frameworks in India while being on the other side, as you said?
Okay, so yeah, it is definitely a challenge, because when you are providing service, you have to look into various angles. You have to ensure that the business doesn't get hampered. You have to ensure that the risks are mitigated, and the regulatory things are there, which are there. You don't violate any of them, because that is a bigger risk for any organization. So yeah, it's about balancing, how you balance the business with your compliance. So depending upon the need of the hour, what is to be prioritized, and how much you need to navigate it. If it is a business requirement, how much risk capabilities a company or organization have. So if I have to automate it, I can automate it by putting a cycle to it, that yes, if X is the factor, then okay, one will be done. If Y is the factor, then I'll do two. So that's the basic idea which I'm trying to develop. And so to ensure the things get automated, and there's a very less scope remaining to uh, anything going outside that bucket.
Beautiful. So, my last one will be, As a leader in legal and compliance, how do you mentor young legal professionals who aspire to work in fintech, insurance, or health tech?
So fintech is actually an evolving sector where, if we see, the fintech sector has started, I think, in 2016, 15 or 16, if I'm not wrong, where all these companies have started coming, and health tech has also started around the same time, around 2008 or 10. The companies, basically, for the youngsters who want to work in this field, my suggestion would be, first they need to understand the business function, because when you step out from the college, your basic idea is ki, you have read so many books, you have read so many laws, and you have an idea, you just think ki, that yes, in book X is written and I'll have to follow X. Now to reach that X, there are ways. As a youngster, you first need to understand the business, which will lead you to gather information how to reach that compliance stage. So my take on that is keep, they need to understand, they know law, they have passed out, they have graduated, they are professionals. Now they need to learn other things of it, which will make their life easier and smoother in their course of journey.
Wow, beautiful. Let's go to the next round and understand Jaswinder as a person. Tell us about your family and your formative years.
So yeah, my father was in army, so being an army brat, so I have traveled to various locations since my initial days, and it's been a journey where after every 3 years you change your location and you change your friends, you meet new people, and so yeah, after that started in army school, and then moved to college, which is also an army institute. So meeting the same kind of people, and so at that moment when everybody is running to in that race of getting into the army, preparing for NDA, preparing for CDS, you also line up into that and then start preparing towards that side. So yeah, even I did the same thing. I aspired to become an army officer, and then took the journey towards giving CDS and all, and then later applying for JAG branch. But the I think the course was already decided. So finally, I landed into the corporate sector, and yeah, the journey has been great. So in family, it's my mother, it's my wife, and my father. So it's a small family.
Wow. So, Jaswinder, you've been part of the corporate legal world for over a decade. What's the ideal way to unwind after a long day?
Ideal way to unwind a long day is just to leave the office back there and get into your own space when you are out of that compound, and when, so that it leverages you that time to get your things right, get your mind right, and prepare for the next day. So I have tried to do that only कि once I am out of my office, I am out of my office, and then I am into my personal space. And yes, matlab, there are exceptions to it when there is a need, so obviously you have to take care of certain things. But yeah, most of the times I think keeping a balance in that, that's the way how I tend to keep my balance between my personal life and my professional life.
So, I've got a curious question. Like
Hmm.
I said in the uh, warm up
Right, right.
conversation, okay, one most coffee speaker was from the Army Institute of Law. So, when doing law from an Army Institute of Law, are there any differences which you from other law colleges, and how are the experiences or the learnings which has helped you shape your corporate legal career?
So yes, there are. If being an army brat, you definitely get a privilege to get into an army institute, because they have a set number of seats which are dedicated to only brats of army people. By working, by not only by studying in that army institute, but by staying with my father over his journey in the service, you tend to get into a discipline. That's the one thing which I am. And along with discipline, another thing comes is like you are open to move to any places. Like you are flexible. You don't have any restrictions under you because you have seen it from your childhood.
Yeah.
So in the corporate sector, so if you see my journey, I have worked and started my career with Udaipur in Bajaj Allianz. Then I moved to Chennai in Royal Sundaram. Then I moved back to Mumbai, and now from Mumbai now I'm in Bangalore. So that kind of flexibility comes with that experience which you have got in the past. So that is, I think, very helpful, and that gives you a lot of comfort to move out and work. So I think for me it's these two things, discipline and flexibility, which you get from that college.
Beautiful. So, Jaswinder, what's one habit or routine that keeps you productive?
Habit is like to keep yourself lively, you have to start. So situations and things might be different for others, but for me it's like start your day early, wake up early, and give yourself some exercise, and then when you start your day in the office, keep keep yourself interactive with other people, keep speaking with them, and that makes the day smaller for you. If you keep on sitting and doing doing your own job continuously, so it might get boring after some time. But yeah, if you are interactive and you keep on churning around and speaking with people, so I think that helps you in your corporate life as well, because you get to have a lot of insights about what is happening in the company. How, if you have any problem, you might get solutions to those problems while having a conversation. This has happened with me a lot. While I'm discussing with something with other people, I get a solution for another problem which was not at all related to this conversation. So yes, matlab, this gives you a lot of scope.
Wow. So, what's one book, movie, or a web series which has impacted you, and what were the key learnings?
So it's about like if I talk about the movies and all, so I'm being an army brat, so I'm like more inclined towards army movies and all. So
So, which is your
more.
favorite one?
So the latest one I would say, it is, I think, Uri, or if I go back in time, I think it was Top Gun.
Ah, Top Gun, my favorite.
Yeah. So there are something like some movies which you can like just getting bored and you can keep on watching. Suits is one thing which I like to, if I'm it's like Friends for me, for other people. Like when other people get bored, they anytime it's Friends they can watch. So it's for me it's like Suits. I can watch it anytime. You can start it anytime.
So, do you relate to Harvey Specter?
Harvey Specter, no, mother. It's a it's a character, but you don't get that experience in a professional life, and that's not the real life. So it's like I recollect one thing, because when we were in college, we used to say, people at that time Laksh had came out. I think Laksh was released in around 2001 or 2002. So people were motivated after seeing that movie to go into army. Ki we have to go into army. We have to go into army. And then when you land in army, you see a completely different picture there. So it's like people can imagine from Harvey Specter how the lawyers live it, but it is not at all same. It's completely different.
I know, I know.
Yeah.
So, what's one fun fact about you that people, your friends or your colleagues don't know?
Fun fact about me, I think people already know a lot about me. So yeah, even I don't know what's one thing which people don't know about me. I'll have to find it with people.
Sure, do that. Okay. What's your goal for 2025 personally and professionally?
Personally, it's like it's just to keep yourself calm and keep yourself motivated, and just to do your job, continue your journey For me, it's like the journey is a marathon journey, right? If it's not a race where you finish for 100 meters and then stop. Since it's a marathon, you have to keep yourself calm, you have to be steady, and keep on going. In professional journey, yes, there are lot many things officially which we need to streamline, things to work on. Being a startup, we have lot many things to streamline our processes and enhance our business capabilities. So yes, definitely there are opportunities at a personal level and at the professional level to grow and learn.
Wow. So my last one, which is googly, describe Jaswinder in one line.
Calm and smiling.
Wow. So let's go to the next round and have some fun, the rapid fire round. Corporate
Okay.
litigation or compliance?
Compliance.
Your go-to comfort food?
Go to comfort food as Indian.
Mumbai or Bengaluru?
That's a difficult one. Yeah, from the heart, Mumbai.
Okay. AI in legal, is it a disruptor or an enabler?
Enabler.
Reading contracts versus reading books,
Reading
which is
contracts.
fun.
Reading contracts. Definitely.
Okay. Mm. Best piece of advice received.
Just do your right things.
Wow. Your favorite color?
Blue.
Dream travel place?
Dream travel place. I haven't thought about it. Could be. It has to be Himalayan.
Wow. Tea or coffee to rejuvenate?
Coffee. That's why we are
Wow,
on
yeah, the
coffee
coffee.
conversation.
Thank you. So you did well and use a book. It's the latest
Now,
one
thank
authored by
you.
me, Legal EI 101. Uh, So, friends, it was a lovely conversation. Yeah, enjoying. There have been many yeah, coming from the army or from the armed forces background, especially from army, apna navy and air force. That is, we're very fortunate to cover their inspiring stories. Ke how they've been, what do you say, spending 3 years in one place, and in spite of all the traveling, discovering the culture of India. So that is very fortunate. They have this, eh, have made so many friends in their journey, and yes, they are true Indians at heart. So, like Jaswinder, this is very inspiring story. Now he is at MediBuddy helping this health tech startup to scale up. So this is what our coffee speakers bring to the table with their inspiring stories, being with a startup, and he has also worked with insurance sector over a decade. So watch your coffee, and so all those young legal professionals who want to enter into a health tech or insurance or fintech, watch this episode. Jaswinder has shared his insights how to navigate with using AI and all those things. So there are like 400 plus episodes of the Coffee Corner Show. Watch and get inspired. And if you want to be featured like Jaswinder, visit our LinkedIn page, the Emerging India Forum, or our website, and our team will invite you to have coffee conversation. So thank you. Take care.